Okay, when you're asked to solve a differential equation, there's actually a couple of ways that you can do this. The first one is the fastest, and that is to go to a graphing calculator or an online graphing calculator. Desmos.com is a good free one, and all you have to do is graph, if I can type it, the two equations. Having trouble here, 1y. So there's the graph of that line, and then 2x plus 1y equals 3. And the solution for a system of equations is where they intersect, and it looks like it's at 0, 3. So if I just wanted to get through this very quickly, I could see the first way to do this would be by a graph, and the solution was 0, 3. Now, I'm going to show the other ways, and you might say, why? Why wouldn't I just graph and be done with it? Sometimes it might be a fraction answer, and so you have to get an exact value. So the second way I'm going to show is by substitution. And what you do with substitution, I feel like I have too many T's there, maybe not, is you solve one of the equations for a variable and you plug it into the other. Now, I'm going to solve this equation for y, because 1y is really just y. And I could do that by, so y equals 3 minus 2x. So I just chunk that to the other side. And now what I can do with this is take this second equation. So 3x minus 1y equals negative 3. And where I see a y, plug that value in. And so I would have 3x minus 1. I guess I can put the 1 there. And then the y, be sure and put this in parentheses because we're going to distribute the negative sign, equals negative 3. So 3x minus 3, negative and a negative, plus 2x equals negative 3. If I combine like terms, I get 5x minus 3 equals negative 3. If I add 3, I get 5x equals 0, and then divide by 5, and it looks like x equals 0. So now that I know what x equals, I simply plug in to my either equation and I can solve for y. So I can go back to the 2x plus 1y equals 3. And when x equals 0, 0 plus 1y equals 3, we can see y equals 3. So my x comma y equals 0 comma 3, which matches my graph. All right. This way, typically students that like substitution are students that are really good in algebra, that algebra doesn't really scare them, you know. Probably, well, graphing by far is my favorite method, but probably my next favorite method would be elimination. Elimination. And so I'm going to write these on top of each other. Now, sometimes they're not this easy that you have to multiply every term by a particular value. And I'll show that in a later video. But notice if I add these together, I get 5x. Notice what happens. The y's cancel out. And I get my answer this quickly of 0. And then I can do the same thing that I did down here now. And I can get my y value to get my answer. So elimination is pretty cool because it can be pretty fast, but you sometimes, if these aren't opposites of each other, you have to multiply it by something to make it an opposite. All right, we'll continue on with these.